All right, everybody. Are you ready for an absolutely epic call today? Somebody may take what we're going to talk about today and actually get a listing either signed or in the pipeline. You could do it in the next 3 days. You could actually do it today. So we're going to walk through a few things. And
I've only been doing it surprisingly for a month and a half.
Before we do, I'm going to play a couple of really short videos from a couple of clients in the last few weeks and that are attending our daily huddles. We do 2 daily huddles at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. East Coast time for expired conversion. And then we do another one at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. East Coast time. And for all you listings to leads clients, I'm going to show you where you can register for those Zoom calls. But in the meantime, let me know where you're coming in from. Go ahead and say hello, hello. Let me bring up the comments. All right, so go ahead and check in with me. Let me know where you're coming in from, and let's get going. Let me know who wants to get either a listing or a listing at least in the pipeline in the next 3 to 4 days. Absolutely possible. And I'm going to walk you through how people are doing it. We're going to talk about phone calls. We're going to talk about text messages. We're going to talk about emails. We're going to talk about door knocking. All right. Absolutely phenomenal. People are doing all of it, right? When you look at a lot of the landscape, people talking about expireds, it's either spend 2 to 3 hours a day calling, just spending 2 to 3 hours a day handwriting letters and all that kind of stuff. And we're gonna bypass all of that. We're gonna do a little bit of all of it. You're gonna pick which kind of you feel is the best for you. I got some suggestions for you. And then I'll invite all of you who are clients to our daily masterminds, where we got a great group of people that have been with me for about 3 weeks-ish. Yeah, I think about 3 weeks. Yeah, actually, 3 weeks. Because the 26th will be the 4th week, which is absolutely awesome. So with that, let me play a couple of quick little videos from a couple of the people that are with us, and then one that is just absolutely crushing it. So I got 3 short little videos, get you excited. So listen to what they say. All right. Because each of them are going to say something a little bit different. And then we're going to come back and we're going to start walking through it.
I've only been doing it surprisingly for a month and a half, and I'm not bluffing. Like, I'm serious. And I have a listing listed at $779.
Ooh.
That is from the booklet. And then I also have another one that actually became a referral that is a little bit above $500,000. And then I have 2 coming to the market in spring. One will be listed at $980, and the other one will be listed around $800,000. And that's all from the booklet. With the rate I'm going at now, only using it a month and a half, I would like to get to within 6 months, maybe 15, 20. That's a high goal. At least I'm setting a goal for myself. I've only been doing it.
She literally graduated high school 2 years ago, been in real estate for 1 year. And in the first 6 weeks of doing what we're talking about, 4 listings in a small little area where they get 3 to 4 expireds a day. Where a lot of us live, we get 10 to 20 a day coming through. And here's the beautiful thing. If we start right now, by the time January 2026 hits, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be people are going to get $500,000 of GCI in the pipeline in the month of January alone. And it's going to be the people that start now. They dial in the processes and what we're talking about here, and they're going to be set up for such massive success. But in the meantime, we're going to get some listings. We're going to get some listings in the pipeline right now. And then again, January 2026, we're absolutely going to crush it. Here's another client talking about what he's been doing in the last week.
Hey, Scott, these guides are awesome. What I do is I go door knock expireds that were more from 3 to 7 months ago, maybe a little older. And all I put in it is those 2 things in this big envelope. That's what I've written on the front of the envelope. And then I show up to the house carrying that envelope and some other paperwork. And I ask whoever answers the door if they're the homeowner. If they say yes, then I ask them, was this home, in a confused voice, was this home recently on the market? And it opens a conversation instead of me launching straight into, do you want to list your house with me? So had another good outing yesterday, picked up a buyer who was renting the place and got a home tour with another potential seller. They're not ready to list right now, but this is pretty good stuff.
All right. Absolutely brilliant. So JJ in the first video, she's only doing texting and calling. Scott here is doing door knocking. There's a lot of different ways of doing this. And we do the training where we want you to do all of it because we never know what's going to hit. We want to do a phone call. We want to do a text. We want to do an email. We want to either do a mail or a door knock, drop by. Absolutely phenomenal, right? There's no one way to do it. If you're only going to do it one way, you're going to be very one dimensional and it's going to take forever and a boatload of work. So here's a third video. Check this out. She got 2 listings in one day, including a come list me call.
This morning I woke up with the message of the seller who wants me to go there at his house tomorrow to list it. And
Nice.
I sent the flip book to
Mhm.
another seller, and she said she's going to list with me after the holidays.
Awesome. Wow. Good for you. That is awesome. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So let me know. Go ahead and type in. Let me know who wants this kind of traction? Who wants this kind of seller engagement? All right. Who wants to get listings in the easiest way possible? It's absolutely nuts. And Greg Raymer, good to see you, man. Down in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Awesome. All right. Is this absolutely phenomenal or what? When she texted, she said, you know what? We're going to be going through that. We're going to be going through all of that in this call. I'm only going to be able to go through some of the basics of it, but just enough to get you pointed in the right direction. And then what I'm going to recommend you do is, as you can, join us on our daily Zooms. Again, we do 7 a.m. Pacific, and then we do 4 p.m. Pacific. That's 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. East Coast time. So let's go ahead and get yourselves over to listingstoleads.com. If you want to do some of this with me, what we're going to do today is first, I'm going to show you, there's that little bell for announcements, right? Look at that. If I click it, there's a pop-up and the daily 30-day challenge live call 4 p.m. And it's not even people are having so much success. The people that are already involved are enjoying it so much that we've all decided we're going to be doing this until February. So it's not even a 30-day challenge anymore. All right. The challenge is over. We're good. We're just now dialing in our processes. We're dialing in our shopping list. We're dialing in everything that we're doing just to get better and better at it, so that by January 1st, someone here is going to get $500,000 of GCI in the pipeline in the first month of January, by following the playbooks that we're talking about here. In your Listings to Leads account, there's the 4 p.m. and this is daily weekdays. All right. We don't do Saturdays and Sundays. I got to have a few days off to rest and relax. But here's our 7 a.m. call. Again, that's 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Join us. We got people that join us every single day. And it's a different group both times. So the 7 a.m. group is a little bit different. The 4 p.m. group is different. There's a few people that do join us on both quite a bit. But yeah, I recommend trying to join us. Don't join us twice in one day. That's a little bit much. But sometimes try to join us for the morning, and then other times maybe join us for the afternoon, get a little bit of a different feel for it. But with that said, and when you join us, you'll get the link and you'll get access to the challenge group. And I'm just going to show you here, for example, in the challenge group, the daily action plan to engage and list expireds. And so what we got here is we've got call scripts. So when you're going to call up a expired, what do you say? If they don't answer and you got to have voicemail, how do you leave a voicemail? And here's the thing. More than half of the people, when you leave a voicemail, they're not going to ever listen to it. They're going to read it. And what happens when you leave a voicemail is a lot of times it gets text transcribed. And so a voicemail is radically different than a regular call where you get them on the phone. All right. Radically different. And so we got absolutely two different scripts for between if you get somebody on the call on the phone or not. A lot of times people don't get anybody on the phone. I tell you, we did have one person in the group. She made 4 phone calls, got 2 sellers on the phone, and got 1 listing appointment set from 4 calls. But we all know getting people on the phone is pretty difficult. So then we got a 4 text sequence that you have access to when you're in the group. So these are 4 text messages, and I'm gonna walk through them today, or a couple of them today in this call. They're not overly complicated, but what we do is in the text is we're gonna text a short URL version of the flip book. All right. So to the person that asked about the flip book or what are we texting, what I'm gonna walk through in this call is how do you create these presentation booklets, and when you create one of these, there's a flip book version, there is a print version, and there are use cases for both of them. And I'm going to walk you through both of those today. And then we got an email. And so there's an email here. We had a client. This email that you have access to is an actual email that another agent used to list an out-of-state homeowner. So he lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The homeowner lived in California, and he got the listing signed all via text and email. And this is the email that launched the entire process for him with her. And when we talk about going after expireds, you call, you text, and you email. You're going to do all 3 of them. And then my suggestion is you wait a day before you worry about mailing or door knocking. Because if you call, and as we're going through this, what I'm telling people and what the feedback is, call 5 expireds, and then you're going to text them. Because now I got my text all set up. So I'm going to text number 1, text number 2, text number 3, and then I'm going to go to the email. I'm going to send the first email, the second email, the third email to the first homeowner, the second homeowner, the third homeowner, and just do a cycle like that. And you don't need to spend 2 hours banging the phones. You don't need to spend 3 hours handwriting envelopes. It actually becomes a lot easier. All right. Greg, great question. So, let me put this link in. This is an affiliate link for My Plus Leads. And if you sign up for this right here as a Listings to Leads client, they have do not call, a straight skip tracing service. No, I don't. But for My Plus Leads, it's similar to Red X. If you got Red X or you got Vulcan 7, you don't need this because you've already got the same thing essentially. So this is a very similar service to that. But with our affiliate link, and if you're a client of ours, what you can do if you're going to get a free trial is normally the free trial is only 30 days of data. I can only go back to October 21st to find expireds and FSBOs. The best ones are 2 months back. All right. So calling the new ones, that's great, but you are competing against every other agent that's calling them up. Now, with the way we do call, text, and email, you're going to blow a lot of those agents out of the water. But these expired homeowners that are brand new, they're not in the mood to when somebody breaks up in a relationship, maybe it's a rebound. You know how that is, right? A lot of times they need some space to like just chill and regroup and get healthy again. It's a very similar thing with expired homeowners. So when you're sitting there banging on these expired homeowners that just expired this morning, it can be a little bit of a lift because A, you're battling against every other person calling them. And B, a lot of the times they're just not in the mood, right? They literally just had their home yanked off the market because the previous agent couldn't sell it. Now, unless they hated the agent and they just knew that agent absolutely blew it. But a lot of the times they're not in the mood to talk to somebody right now. But totally recommend that you do it. You never know, right? If you can get a hold of an expired homeowner, phenomenal. But my point back to the My Plus Leads thing is if you sign up on our affiliate link, and if you're a client, you can ask My Plus Leads. You'll have to ask them specifically and say, I'm part of Listings to Leads. Can I get 6 months back data for expireds and FSBOs? that make sense? Let me know if that made sense there, Greg, in particular, or anybody else. Because again, 30 days data is fine. All right. That's more of a circle prospecting thing. Like I said, I want to hit those expireds that are at least 2 to 3 months back. All right. Because those are the people, as long as they're still not relisted or sold, those are the ones that are going to be most likely to actually do something. All right. So as I scroll down this document here that is available for our group of people that join us on our daily Zooms, what we then do, and this is what we're going to walk through today in this call. We divide every expired into either A, B, or C. And actually, D's are the ones that we're not going to go after. A land listing, too low in price, too far away. Those are the D's. We just scratch them. But the A group, these are our premier listings. These are the listings. These are the people that we're going to create a specific flip book and presentation booklet like this for, where it's their home, their name, their address on the cover, so that when we hit them with the flip book, the online flip book, the URL, or we door knock and mail the presentation booklet, they're looking at their home, their name is on the cover, their address is on the cover. It's all about them. And then we've even got envelope recommendations for mailing. We got envelope recommendations for door knocking. Again, radically different. And then we even talk about a call to action stamp. If you remember that video that we saw, the second video where he said, I write on the envelope, essentially it was something to the effect of, oh, right here, your digital 100 plus point marketing plan to get your expired home sold is inside. Putting that on the envelope, whether it's the expired letter or the presentation, is going to 2 to 3x the opens that you get when you do a mail or a door knock. Then we got the B group of listings, and these are good listings. They're just not the luxury high end, and whatever that means in your area for all of you is going to be different. So it's going to be subjective somewhat for each of you. But our B group, this is where we're going to use a general flip book. So we're going to have a general I call it a demo listing in our Listing Leads account. And we're going to use that flip book, that presentation book for all of these expires. We don't want to create one of these for every single expired that comes through. We'll be doing that all day long. But maybe we do 1 to 2 A groups a day as appropriate. Maybe some days there's none. But then we got that B group where we got the demo expired listing in our account. That is the workhorse that we're going to use the most. All right. Say that again about what you put in the envelope. Yep. Courtney, I'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, thank you for the question, but let's hold up on that for a minute. And then the C group, these are just like your average run of the mill listings, maybe a little bit lower in price point. And this is going to be just an expired letter. So we've got an expired letter and our clients can access it. And if anybody wants to scan that QR code right now, if you want to, I'm going to do it myself. I love scanning QR codes. And boom. And this is the general flip book, as you can see right there. And so we're going to send an envelope. We're going to send this expired letter to the C group, so they don't get a presentation booklet. They just get the letter in the envelope that still has that call to action on the envelope. And that way the expired homeowner, they get the envelope, they see the call to action on the envelope. Your 100 point home marketing plan to get your expired home sold is inside. Then they see this, please scan the QR code to view my digital marketing plan. Scan it, boom, you are in like Flynn. And so this is a Canva that you can request access to, then you can save it to your Canva account. And then all you got to do is just flip that image on the top, change who it's going to, and you're good to go. You can pump these letters out like crazy. We even have a link to the stamp. One of the ones that we recommend, we're going to be adding another one here. And then we've got a shopping list, right? Some people don't even have a laser printer at their home yet, but there's a laser printer that an agent recommended. a stamp for stamping the envelopes, right? Presentation envelopes. We even get down to Sharpie metallic permanent markers. All right. All sort presentation covers with slide bar, all sorts of things, all sorts of things. But let's do this. So here's the deal. We are going to click on listings, and let me just show you mine. And then we're going to create these, and all of you can do this today. All of you can do this today. So notice, can you see this? I got an expired listing right here. You may not be able to see it completely, but it says expired. And then over here it says, I specialize in getting homes sold that other agents couldn't in Placer and nearby counties. And this is my general. So this is my B group. All right. There's another one right below it that has an address on it, which I'll show you. So this is just a general photo of a home in my area. There's no homeowner name. There's no address on here. But this flip book is rocking. This is what we saw with Scott in the second video, what he's door knocking with. And it's just what he did is he ordered like 20 or 30, I think he ordered 30 of these from us, right? So we prepared them, we mailed them off to him, and now he's door knocking with these. And so we show off, you can send they can send a text code, they can scan the QR code. So it's a very interactive presentation, both the flip book and the hard copy. We talk about the different statuses. So it's very similar also to your listing presentation, except it's geared for expired. All right. So that's the flip book. And then right here is the PDF. You can download it as a JPEG or a PDF document. Then you can print it either at home, or you can send it to wherever you want, or we can print it. And then you got the hard copy. So that's the general one. Right here, 489 Whitney Lane. This is one of my A lists. This is a luxury listing in my area. And this is one where I added it to my account specifically to present it to this homeowner via text, email, and either mail or door knock. And if I click on the address, you're going to see here the flip book. Notice, and let me see if I can make it bigger just so it's easier to see for everybody. Hold on a second. I'll bring it over. So you can see prepared for Eric Braden at 489 Whitney Lane in Roseville, California. So that's the owner's name. That's the owner's address. And let me just bring it back down a little bit again. And let me slide it over, make it a little bit smaller so we can see it more. All right. And now look at this. Every image in here is of his home. That is his home on every page. And just like in your listing presentation, imagine you are Eric Braden. That is your home. And you either send a text code or you scan that QR code. I am now looking at my own home on my phone. See that right there? It's a little blurry. You get the idea. You can see, there we go. Perfect, beautiful. Look at that. Imagine you deliver via text message, via email, all right, via door knocking or mailing. You deliver a presentation that is featuring their home, and you're making a $15,000 commission check? Holy cow. Absolutely brilliant. I feel lost. Are these in our account or yours? No, Joanna, you got to add them. You're going to add them, and I'm going to walk through that part next. That is what I'm going to walk through next. I just wanted to show you what they look like, because if I just start adding them, you're going to be like, what's he adding? What's he doing? So yeah, you're not lost. You just don't know where they came from. And we're going to walk through that part next. All right. Joanna, does that make sense? Are we good? So everybody, let me know if we're all good here. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the scare. I apologize. I'll try to explain that a little bit better. Yes. That is what we're going to do right now. What we're going to do right now is, in fact, let me show you guys something here. Let me show you, in case you're not in our regular mastermind group, I want to show you the power of AI as it relates to what we're doing here. Give me a second. All right. So we want to have a great photo, especially if we're going to be doing this for a particular property, right? So for a property where I want their home in it, I want the homeowner's name on it, I want the address on it, I want every image in it to look beautiful, but I don't have time to go drive by and take a photo. I'm not that great of taking photos. So check this out. This is for Google Street View, right? Everybody see that photo right there in Google Street View? Do you think I could use that photo in this presentation? Yes or no? So go ahead and type in, could I use that in the presentation? Yes or no? I'm going to give it just a few seconds. Come on. Let me hear some people. We got a lot of people on the call today. So let me hear yes or no. Come on. I don't see anybody. Google Street View. Now, if you've got the ability to go take a photo, go take a photo. All right. Yep. No, shouldn't. Yes, exactly right. I shouldn't. That would be absolutely embarrassing. So check this out. I took a little clip of the home. So I just use Snagit or whatever clipping tool on my computer to clip that portion. Check this out. Boom. ChatGPT. I just threw it in ChatGPT. Please make this photorealistic for real estate marketing, not overcomplicated. If you want me to come up with a more complicated prompt just so I look smarter than I really am, let me know and I'll go ahead and do it for you. But otherwise, just you can take a Google Street View. Please make this photorealistic for real estate marketing is my only prompt. And look what it returned. Absolutely phenomenal. So there's my Google Street View. Barely marginal. It's way off, missing part of the house, right? It's just not the best. Now, am I going to use this in my actual MLS? No, I'm not. But I am going to use this in my real estate marketing. And when the homeowner sees this, they're going to be like, wow, what a great photo of my property. Actually, that looks better than my actual property. And so that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. All right. So worst case scenario, if you can't get a photo of the property, go to Google Street View. People do all sorts of things. So let's do this first. So what we're going to do right now is let's do an A property, and then we're going to do a B property. So we're going to create one of these flip books and presentation books for that listing that is expired in our area where I want it. All right. I'm sure all of you can probably in the next few minutes, if you got you got your MLS, you've got RedX, you got My Plus Leads, whatever service you're using, right? There are probably a couple of listings in your area right now that you would just dot. Nobody wants to die for anything, but you really want that listing. And so we're going to do that first. And then we're going to add a second expired listing to our account that is for our B and C groups. Are we good? Tim, solid. I love it. Solid is right. So let's do it. Add listing. All right. Now pay attention. I am recording this. If you're watching the recording, pause it as needed. Add listing manual. It's so simple. Status. All right. Listing presentation will create the flip book and presentation. For sale by owner will. You can do the same thing with FSBOs. You can do the same thing for canceled, but this is about expired. So I'm going to go expired. And the name is going to be Tim Cruz, since he said this was solid. Tim@gmail.com. Don't worry, Tim, I'm not really going to send it to you. Just for a demo. I'm going to say beautiful home in Folsom. Street address 121. No, let's not do that. I do that way too often. Let's say 8456 Maple Drive, Folsom, California, 95630. So for everyone that's going to talk about do not call, can spam, when you're in My Plus Leads, when you're in RedX, when you're in whatever service you've got, all those emails and everything, you're good to go with them because they'll tell you if it's not on the DNC. All right. And if you don't want to do something, then just don't do it. But I've not had anybody ever get into trouble. They just get listings. They just get seller leads, engage with them. So yeah, I would never say break the law or anything. Always talk to your broker if you need to. And that's where you got door knocking. You can go door knocking, put it in the mail. The more platforms, call, text, email, mail, door knock, the more likely I am to get the listing. No, it's going to fill. So pay attention here. There's going to be this kind of demo, whatever photo. We don't want to use that. But before we delete it, upload your photo that you're going to use for that property. All right. So let me just grab, I don't want to overcomplicate this. I love that photo. I'm going to use that photo. That's just from ChatGPT as well. That's another ChatGPT photo. And I'm going to upload it, give it a few seconds here. And I'm going to then delete this one, right? I don't want to leave this. So make sure you delete that kind of filler photo. So we're going to delete that and just give it a second. We're almost done. The only kind of sad part is it's going to take a minute to generate. So click save and add seller. We've already got the seller, so we're good on that one. Save and start marketing. All right. I'm really not going to market. That's a little bit of a misnomer. And now download listing presentation. So right now this is generating. We've got the landing page and you're going to be able to see here. Let me just blow it up so it's easier to see. So that's going to be the cover of the flip book, and that's the cover of the PDF. That's his house, prepared for Tim Cruise. I know it's a little small, but I'll make it even bigger. Prepared for Tim Cruise at 8456 Maple Drive, Folsom, California. And that is Tim's house. Tim, beautiful home. And one thing I forgot to do is add the commas. We actually did a update based on popular request, and we took out the comma after street address and city by default. And there's a reason for that, which you're going to see here in a second. And that's always good to take a quick look at it. So what I will do is I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to add, because we just did this today. It just went live this morning. And again, it was based on popular request. And you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to add those commas. I'm going to hit save. And now it's going to restart the generation. But now it says, there we go. Prepared for Tim Cruise at 846 Maple Drive, Folsom, California. Beautiful. In about a minute or two, that's going to be ready to go. But we're not going to sit here and wait around and bore ourselves to death. We're going to go and add, while that's preparing, we're going to add our demo. All right. Is everybody good so far on what we just did? Everybody good? In about a minute, I'm going to have a PDF that I can print like this. And I'm going to have a flip book that's going to be the online version. Yes? Let me know if we're good. Go ahead and type in, yes, we're good. I'm going to have a quick sip of coffee. You're going to type in, we're good or not good. There's no point in me showing the next one if you don't even get this one. All right. So Caroline, do you have a expired in mind? Is there an expired that if you did this and you showed up on their door, and I'll give you a couple of tips, and I got a binder at home. We got a shopping list for binders. In fact, I'll show you, you can buy a binder for $50. Your office may have a binder. We're good? Phenomenal. Perfect. It's easy. It is so easy to do this. People love to overcomplicate things. Let me see. Hopefully I got enough listings. Let me see if I need to delete anything. Yeah. Let me delete this listing. I know I'm at the limit on my account. And I keep meaning to ask my team to, I don't know, you'd think I would have unlimited listings, and I do, but I don't at the same time. All right. So here we go. Round 2. We're going to create a listing. And this is what I recommend all of you do right now. Just do it with me. Add listing manual. So this is going to be our listing that we're never going to delete. This will always be in our account. And this is going to be when I'm talking to somebody that is not the A group, but they're a B or C group, this will be the one I send to them. Now, when I go to do a listing presentation for them, then I'll add it to my account, of course, because I'm doing a listing presentation. But for now, I just want something that will work, that I can use to engage them. So it's the same thing. All right. Expired. No name, no email, no phone. All right. Now here is where it's going to change. SP special. Oh my God. SPE. See special eyes. Oh my gosh. And getting homes sold that others couldn't. Oh, I'm going to put in. And then here I'm going to say placer and. So I'm just breaking up this line like that. And you're going to see how that's going to look here in a little bit. Zip code. We don't add the zip code, but I think, let me see. I don't think it's required. Let's leave it off. Again, like I just mentioned, we just made this update today based on popular demand from people that are doing this, because you want to have this demo. I don't know, should I call it a general listing or a demo listing? And and now later, I know it's a little bit of a weird one. I should just tell my team I can come back later and add the ampersand if I want to, but for the initial save, I know it's stupid, and I just keep forgetting to tell my team to fix that. And let's get so for this one, and I got some other posts in the mastermind group. In fact, let me see here if I've got a link. I think I've got a link. If the property is dated, street view, let me see here. I want to show you a post on, in fact, here's another one. Google Street View, boom, ChatGPT. Google Street View, ChatGPT. And then I said, give me more of a golden hour type of thing. All right. Anyways, let's go back here. You know, what you may want to do, and I've got a post in the mastermind group somewhere, is, for example, you got a sold listing from 3 years ago, or you could just go into ChatGPT and say, give me a photo of a home like American River Canyon North in Folsom, California. And you can even give it a street address, or even upload a photo from, just go take a photo, upload it to ChatGPT and say, I want a photo like this house right here, but I don't want it to even be recognizable by the homeowner. So change the color a little bit, change the garage door, change the 3-window bay to a 1-window bay, change the landscaping a little bit. And so what we're looking for here is a demo image for a property in our area. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense or not. If you want to use an old sold listing of yours, go for it. If you got a sold listing that you sold 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last month that you want to use for the image in the demo presentation, go for it. All right. For me, and this, in fact, this is exactly what this image is right here. So this image right here is, I went to Zillow. I grabbed a home of a home in my area, and I just did, I used the prompt that I exactly shared with you just now. I said, flip the garage, change the window bay, change the landscaping. And if you saw the image from Zillow and you saw this image, you would have no clue they're the same home. But this image right here is just a great representation. In fact, if anybody saw that home that lived around here, they would assume it's a home somewhere in the area. All right. Does that make sense? So don't overcomplicate it. You can overcomplicate this as much as you want, or you can just get it done. One of the two. And we're just going to click through. Once you have the photo, you're done. All right. So let's go back and let's take a look at that A group premier luxury listing that we added first. And let's take a look at the flip book. All right. Remember that? 8456 Maple Drive in Folsom. I'm going to go ahead and click on the property address. I'm going to click on the flip. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. When I added the commas. All right. I'll tell you what, I got one from before. Let's just go take a look at the other one. No problem. I got the one right. 489 Whitney. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this. Click on the property address. Click on Flipbook. And it looks like I blew it up way too much. Oh, wow. Why? Let me see. I did that. All right, there we go. All right, so prepared for Eric Braden, 489 Whitney Lane, Roseville, California. So now we got to get this to the homeowner, right? We got to get this to the homeowner. What I recommend, all right, we got a phone call script, we got a voicemail script, which you get when you're joining us on our dailies, and then you get invited to the group. Now, what I'm going to recommend is I'm going to bring Bitly over. So JJ, and we got an interview with her. It's on our YouTube channel. We'll actually go to it while we're on the call today, and I'll put a link to that interview in the chat towards the end of this call. But I'm not going to text somebody that really long link, right? If I sent that via text, that's just a disaster, and it may not even work on a text. So there's a couple of different services, Bitly, Tiny URL. And what I do, just go to Bitly. You may need to log in, set up an account. I don't know. Tiny URL, tinyurl.com is another one. Google short URL generator if you need to. So I drop in the link where it says enter your destination URL, create your Bitly link. Now check this out. You see, I'm on a little pop-up right here, and it gives me the link, and this link is good. All right, I can copy that link and use it right now, but check this out. If I click, now pay attention, if I click view link details, and I can click over here, edit. So again, if you're watching the recording, go ahead and pause this, but there's a little edit icon. If I click it, I can edit the back half of that Bitly link. And instead of having 4IPAPFK, I can go whatever the address was, right? 486 Whitney. There's a save way down here in the bottom right. And now look at that link, bit.ly, bit.ly/486 Whitney. So not only is it shortened, but now it's shortened and cleaned. I love that. Copy link. And then look at that. See that link I got right there? bit.ly/Whitney. And if I were to put that in here for everybody, right now, when I send that via text, that's a sweet little clean URL that links right to my page. All right. So that's what I would send via text and email. So I could send that via email as well. So when I'm going to reach out to that homeowner, I'm going to call them with the scripts that we give you. And let me tell you something, a 19-year-old recent high school graduate, no training from us, has listed 4 properties in 6 weeks on her own. Again, we give you the scripts and when you're in the group and all this, but if you just start calling, you're going to get a lot better at it. You'll get good at it. You're going to get, and I'll give you the interview that we did with her, so you'll be able to see that. But call, she never got anybody on the phone. It didn't sound like other people do, but I would say calling is free. So of course I'm going to call. I've got a 100+ point home marketing plan that is probably 10 times better than what your last agent did. You should be wanting to hear from me versus me begging to talk to you. Now, of course, we're the salespeople, so we got to do all the work, but I want you to have that kind of confidence when you're going after these people to get a hold of them. You're doing them a service, of course you are, but you are doing them a service. All right. If they can have you market their property with the Listings to Leads platform and all the great tools that we've got, from coming soon if you do that, or just listed, the open house tools, active marketing, pending marketing, all right, all the way through just sold, they're going to be lucky to have you. And you probably do other things. Maybe you do property videos, maybe you do a drone, you do a 3D tour. So all of this stuff you are probably 2 to 3 times better than their last agent in the marketing that you're going to do for their home. All right. So be excited, right? Have the confidence that all you need to do is get this in front of them, because that is all you need to do. Not all you need to do, but you get my point. All right. Because I tell you, when people, has anybody here on this call presented this in a listing presentation? So quick tip before I go off onto the other one. You see how it says expired? So if and when I have a conversation and they say, "Hey, why don't you come over and let's talk about listing our home," right? We want to have you come over, walk us through your marketing plan. I can flip that from expired to listing presentation. And now the entire flip book and PDF are going to change from expired to listing presentation. The same link will work. So I can still use that bit.ly 486 Whitney link if I want to. And then check this out. It gets even better. When I get the listing signed, I can go, when it's ready, I can go just listed. So I don't need to add it again. I don't need to do anything else. I can go from expired to listing presentation to just listed, just by dropping that drop down and changing the status. Right? Does that make sense? Everybody good on that? All right, let's go back to I specialize. That's our demo listing. So that's like our general for the B's and C's. Click on the title, address, title, flip book. So this is the one that we just added. All right. And notice on the, it says, I specialize in getting homes sold that others couldn't in Placer and surrounding counties. The complete marketing plan to get your expired home sold, right? All the way through. We got the, and I'll show you where the introduction is as well. So hold tight. Right. Awesome stuff right there. Looks beautiful. Very cool. Awesome. All the way through. And then let's go back to the beginning and let's go back to bit.ly. Let's do the URL again, because I'm sure some of you were like, wait, what did he do? So let me bring up bit.ly on my other monitor and I'll drag it over. All right, so there's bit.ly. So again, I just went to bit.ly and then it goes to this whole longer URL. I don't know, whatever. I just went to bit.ly. And right here again, where it says enter your destination URL, I'm going to drop in the link, create your link, that blue. Again, I got this, it's short. That's good, but I want it to be clean. That 3XFZ5NC isn't doing anything for me. So I'm going to click link details. That's going to put me here. Now, from here, it's just 2 clicks. There's an edit right up here on the top right, like a little pencil, the universal sign for edit. I'm going to click it. And then it's going to show me edit back half right there. Edit the back half. I want to edit the back half. And here I might say Placer. If I do county, that gets long, right? Expired's Placer. Again, don't overthink it. I just want something that when a homeowner in Placer County sees that listing, it registers to them. So I put that, so right there, expireds for bit.ly /expireds expires Placer. Boom. I specialize in getting homes sold that others couldn't in Placer and surrounding counties. And right there. So I can send that via text. I can use that in the email. And then I can download the PDF and print it. And I can go door knocking. I can show up at their door with and maybe you can order these from us. And they're gorgeous, right? They're like magazines. They sit beautiful. It's a beautiful heart, heavy paper right here. You can print them at your home, right? You can print and bind them at your home office, at your office, right? If you got a real estate office, and you can put it in a $2 Walmart folder if you want to. But here's the PDF. And I got the PDF for my A group, right? When I add their listing where I'm using the homeowner's name and address. So it's their home on every single page. I got the link and I got the PDF for that. And I got my general one And again, this is going to be one where I'm going to mostly use it for email and text. But if I wanted to mail it or use it to go door knocking, like what Scott did, right? This is the one. Let me come back here. And if you want us to print it, I don't know. Let me go look. I don't know. Let me go to our blog and I'll drop this link in the chat. So give me a sec. Just let me look real quick. So there's a setup fee and then a per piece fee. So you can do expired, standard, canceled, or FSBO. For now, expired is where the money is. It's $70 for the setup. And what we do is we add that expired listing to your account. We send you a screenshot. We make sure everything looks good and everything sounds good in the whole thing. And then once you approve it, we then send it to this Mailbox Power and we set it up. Their editor is absolutely insane if you've ever tried to use it. So we do all the setup and everything in there. And then when it's ready, we let you know you're ready to order copies. And so you can order 10, 20, 30, 40 at a time. There's no point ordering 10. All right. It's just you're paying more for shipping than it's really worth. I would order at least 30. So 30 divided by 280. I don't know what that is. Let's see. 280 divided by 30. So it's $9.33 each. If you print them at home, it's going to be about the same price. All right. If I laser print 24 pages, it's $8 to $10. It could be a little bit more depending on your printer. And then you're going to have to bind it, which is, listen, you're going to want to be able to print and bind at your home for your A's and your listing presentations anyways. So I tell people what I would do is I would order these from us, like 30 of them for the B groups, so that you can do like what Scott was doing, where he just got a list of expireds and he's just going to go door knock. Now, could he add them all to his account and then print them and then go door? Yes, he could, but it would take an extra 2 to 3 hours of his time to get that done. And it's not scalable, but are there going to be listings in his area that are those A groups where there might be a couple, 2 or 3 a week that he's, listen, this is a premier property. I'm going to add it to my listings to leads account. And then I'm going to print it and I'm going to print it at home because I only need one copy. You wouldn't have us do one copy. That wouldn't make any sense. It costs you like $90 for one copy. That makes no sense. So you want to be able to print it and just bind it, whether you do spiral or thermal binder at home. You can get those for $50. In fact, let me show you. I'll give you a link, Amazon link. And I think we've got it on our shopping list. In fact, we don't. I got to add it. Hold on one second. I'm going to give you spiral, SPIR, because like I said, you want to be able to do this at home. There's a use case for having us do it, and there's a use case for you doing it. And understanding the difference is important. So hold on. I got them all up. And, oh, wow, it's on sale, I think. $30. $38. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, wow, it is on sale. That's a great price. So I've never used this one, but it seems like it got a couple of 1-star reviews, but it's got a lot of 5-star and 4-star. Right? And these are only 24 pages. So that's spiral. I would recommend that versus a thermal only because the thermal, when you do a thermal binder, and you can get those for like $50. Here, hold on. Let me put this in the group or in the chat. Give me 1 second. Copy link. What you consider, Joanne, are going to be different. But what I would consider an A group would be, oh, I'll tell you what, let's go back. Let's go to our sheet and let me see if I edited it a little bit. So whatever it is that you would consider a premier listing, I look at it like this. If you had this listing and you were going to do your office tour after your sales meeting or your realtor association tour, and you said, hey, I've got a new listing at XYZ, And if everybody was going to pretty much come to see it because they just wanted to see that property, that's probably an A listing, because people, they recognize the address or the neighborhood or the price point, and they're like, "Ooh, I'm going to go see that property." That's your A group. So that could be a price point, that could be a neighborhood, that could be whatever. And that's going to be different for everybody. Your B group, that's going to be like, that's a good listing. All right. It's not your A premier, but your A premier should only be like 2 to 3 a week, probably. There's not going to be a lot of A premiers expireds always coming through, but your B and C group, yeah, there's going to be more of those. So when I go through My Plus Leads, and I can't do it on a live call because it's public, but when I'm going through My Plus Leads or whatever your data provider is going to be, could even be your MLS, right? When you look at these addresses, and for me, it's got to have a phone number too. So I use My Plus Leads. It's got to have a name, email, and phone number to even be considered an A. And then it's got to be price point, location, and property condition. I don't want some junky property, unless that's something that you're cool with. Whatever, we're all different. But then my B group is going to be more, maybe a little bit lower price point, maybe a little bit of a larger area. Does that make sense? And then my C group is just going to be listings I normally wouldn't go after, but if I got them, I'm not going to say no to them. Hey, if I can get a $5,000 commission check or whatever it is by providing amazing service to a homeowner that needs it, I'll take it all day long. But I'm not gonna prepare a $9 flip book and mail it or door knock them. These are the people that I use, that they get a letter only. And so this is our expired letter that I showed earlier. So the C group, they just get a letter, and I'll show you an envelope. So here's the letter, and here is the envelope. I'll show you the envelope because one of our people, and there we go. So give me a second here and I'll show you the envelope. And this would be a pro tip for all of you doing mailings. Let me scroll down. Give me a second here. Boom. Let me blow it up a little bit so you can see it. So the C group, they're just going to get that expired letter. And on the front of the letter, it's going to say your digital 100+ point marketing plan to get your expired home sold is inside. All right. So that way the homeowner gets the letter. They're not going to get this door knocked or mailed. They're just going to get the letter only. And then inside this letter is going to be, or inside that envelope, I should say, is going to be this letter. And you're going to copy. Does that look familiar? Huh? That should look familiar to everybody. We took a Google Street View of a C property and we ran it through ChatGPT because we didn't want to have a nasty subpar picture representing us in our marketing. We would never do that. So I used ChatGPT, boom, put it on the top, Donna and Bertha, and everything else stays the same for every single C group letter. Yeah. Yes. When you join us on our Zoom calls, either the 7 a.m. or the 4 p.m., we give you access to the group. And in the group, it's the featured post in the group. And so, yeah, you'll get access to this. All right. But we just want to make sure that it's only our clients, right? You got to be a Listings to Leads client to get access to this. Even if you're not a client, you can see what it looks like right now. All right. And then you'll put this is a Canva. So you'll get access to this Canva link, and then you'll be able to make a copy of it, save it to your Canva, and then every day. So imagine Monday, please show the red envelope again. Yeah. 1 second. Let me just close. There we go. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? I recommend either red or black envelopes, both if you're going to do the larger presentation. And again, if you're going to go door knocking, you don't want to use a envelope when you're door knocking. You want to use a kind of a see-through plasticky kind of an envelope. So that way, in case you need to leave it behind, it's weather resistant. And if they answer the door, I want them to be able to see through the envelope so they can actually see. I can actually kind of position this and say, you saw what Scott said, right? Hey, your home was listed on the market for sale. We get into some other training for some other language around that as well. But what I want is I want them to see, I'm sorry, I want them to see this. And if it's in a kind of a paper envelope, they never will. So that's why in our shopping list, back at this document here, our shopping list, presentation envelopes here for mailing or door knocking. Oh, did I not get that in there yet? Oh, so annoying. So that's the mailing one. And then something like, I will show you. That's not it. It's not this one. Let me see. Hold on a second. It should be right here. God dang it. I would think it would come up because I was just on it a little bit earlier. Let me go see if it comes up here. Luxury folder. Yeah, it's not a folder though. It's more of an envelope. Oh, yeah, close enough. Something like this. Right. So if I go door knocking, I want to have something like this right there. So that way, again, because if they answer the door, then I want them to be able to see what I've got. I've got an expired marketing plan. Now that could be an A group or a B group. I can door knock A's or B's, and I can also just drop it in the mail if I want to. But if I door knock, what if they're not home? So if they're not home, especially in the summer or the fall and winter, it's rainy, it's moist, it's damp, it's snowy, it's windy, right? And if it's a paper envelope, that could get damaged. And I don't want it to get damaged. So that's why the plastic is for really, it serves two purposes. It's see-through so that if they answer the door, and even if they don't, and I leave it like by the side of the door, I want them to see from a few feet away what it is. I don't want them just like some random envelope because what happens? People get nervous. Shit, what's in that? What's in that thing? Does that make sense? So if I'm going to door knock, either I want them to see it while I'm holding it and they can see right through the envelope what it is, or through the folder, envelope, I'm sorry, what it is. Or if I'm going to leave it as a leave behind because they're not home and whatever, and they may not see it for a day or two or three, who knows? Maybe they're traveling and they're gone for a week. I don't want that paper envelope to get damaged. And so I'm going to leave it there. And again, I want them to see what it says so there's no surprises. Most people don't like surprises unless it's their birthday or you got $1 million for them. But if you're to leave like a legal size envelope by the door, yeah. Anyways. All right, everybody. Are we good? It's 12:06. I apologize for going long. Are we good? Again, inside of your Listings to Leads account, when you are logged in from any page, right there, announcements, and right here. So apparently somebody just added something new, but just look down for the daily 30-day. And again, that might change. So just look for the expired challenge live calls, and they're at 4 p.m. and then 7 a.m. And I can scroll down here and I can see, right, 7 a.m. Yep. Yeah, you get all that stuff when you join us here. Boom. Right there. So you'll get on the call, either one, and then yeah. Or you can also ask support. So you can always ask our support team as well, and they'll get it off to you. All right. Yeah. We just want to keep it for our clients only and not let this of course, people are going to share it. I know that, whatever. But at the same time, I just want to, for our clients are our people, our peeps. All right. We good? Happy Friday. Go do your Friday thing. For all those of you that want to join us at 4:00 Pacific, that's in about 4 hours. Love to see you on the call. It's pretty fast paced, but it's pretty cool. I think we get into some details and strategies and tactics a little bit deeper than what we do on this call. All right, everybody, listen, get out of here, go take action, and we'll talk to you soon.